Good day, and thank you for watching. If you are involved in a child custody case in California, there is one concept you need to understand early, because it can shape the entire outcome of your case. That concept is status quo. Status quo refers to the current pattern of care and custody for a child, who the child lives with, who handles daily responsibilities, who takes the child to school, appointments, and activities, and how parenting time is actually being exercised. Now, here's the key. Courts pay very close attention to stability. And once a pattern is established, courts are often reluctant to change it without a strong reason. That's where many people make a mistake. They assume that temporary arrangements are just temporary. But in reality, those temporary arrangements can become the foundation of a final custody order. Let's break this down. In the early stages of a case, parents may make informal agreements. One parent may take on more time with the child. Schedules may shift due to work, housing, or convenience. At the time, it may seem practical, but over time, that arrangement can become the new normal, and that normal becomes the status quo. Now, let's talk about why this matters. In California, custody decisions are based on the best interest of the child, and one of the most important factors in that analysis is stability. If a child is doing well in a particular arrangement, attending school regularly, maintaining routines, and showing emotional stability, the court may be hesitant to disrupt that, even if the arrangement started as something temporary. Now, here's where many people run into problems. They allow a situation to develop without fully considering the long-term impact. For example, a parent may agree to a limited schedule for convenience, or may step back temporarily due to work or personal issues. But if that pattern continues, it may later be used as evidence of what arrangement works best for the child. Now let's talk about documentation. If you are actively involved in your child's life, it is important to document that involvement. School records, medical appointments, communication with teachers, calendars showing parenting time. Because if there is a dispute, your involvement needs to be shown, not just stated. Now let's discuss another important point. Consistency. Consistency in your parenting time and responsibilities strengthens your position. Irregular or inconsistent involvement can create questions about stability, and those questions can affect how the court views the situation. Now let's talk about strategy. If you are in the early stages of a custody case, you need to think carefully about the arrangements you agree to. Ask yourself, if this arrangement continued long-term, would it reflect what you believe is appropriate? Because what starts as temporary can become long-term. Now let's address another common misunderstanding. Some people believe that because there is no court order yet, their actions do not matter. That is not correct. Courts often look at what has actually been happening, not just what is written in an order. So your actions before a formal order is entered can still carry weight. Now let's talk about changes. If a status quo has already been established and you want to change it, that can be more difficult. You may need to show that the current arrangement is not in the child's best interest, or that circumstances have changed, and that requires evidence. Now let's discuss communication. Clear and respectful communication with the other parent can help avoid misunderstandings. But again, keep important communications in writing, because those records may become important. Now let's look at the bigger picture. Custody cases are not just about legal arguments. They are about real-life patterns, daily routines, parental involvement, and the child's experience. Status quo reflects those patterns, and that's why it matters so much. Finally, let's talk about timing. The earlier you understand and address these issues, the more options you may have. Waiting too long can make it harder to change direction. In conclusion, status quo in California custody cases is a powerful factor. It reflects what is already happening, and courts often rely on it when making decisions. That means your actions, especially early in the case, can shape the outcome. Understanding this concept, documenting your involvement, and making thoughtful decisions can make a significant difference. Call us at 888-888-6582. I'm Vince Davis, and we are all in this together.